Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and to another special episode here of my Phoenix Beach Park here in Planet Coaster. This is just for my Patreons and my Twitch subs, so if you aren't already one of those, then question is, how are you watching this? But anyway, so episode 3 here we are on now, I do believe, and we are making it quite far into the thing. So today's episode, I'm actually going to be building a little something special outside of the park, because this isn't actually just going to be just an amusement park. This is going to be a lot of different stuff all kind of rolled into one. And one of the things I wanted to do was kind of get like a kind of a little bit of a city strip, like a tourist kind of street going down through here, very much in the vein of like Miami, Florida, and how all the neon and all the classic Art Deco buildings and stuff are down through there, but also kind of make it a little bit of California as well, because I'm not specifically specifying whether this is in California or whether this is in Florida. It is actually kind of based upon Santa Cruz. So, I guess technically you could say it is almost a little bit like, you know, that in California in its own sake. But the Art Deco style and stuff that I'm going to go for is also very Floridian as well. And so in the first episode, we kind of built the first coaster. And then in the last episode, we built this little kind of strip here for the entrance out of this, and I really liked how this came out. I'm still not sure about the purple colors yet, and I still got a lot more work to do on this. Luckily now I could actually use ThemeMaker's Toolkit, which you are going to see me build with some today, and with that, that's going to make things a little more useful. So I am trying it out and seeing how it works with ThemeMaker's Toolkit. I've been told, even Fisherman says that it's fixed his system, and I've seen videos of his and it is quite bad. So now that it's actually fixed for him, then I have pretty good faith that it's actually fixed for me as well. So I'm going to slowly start moving into a few TMTK items and kind of going over that. So like I said, what we're going to build today in the park is we're actually going to go outside and we're going to build on the street. I have a little something in mind that I wanted to create, and this is just the start of a bunch of buildings that's going to be out there, because like I said, it's going to be a tourist strip. So thinking like aquarium, I'm thinking like a Ripley's Believe It or Not, I'm thinking about some like Art Deco hotels, lots of neon, just lots of fancy things outside, some different restaurants and stuff that guests may want to use while they're visiting the area. And of course, as I said in the very first episode, probably what we're going to do is build a marina right over there against that, way back over there into that area over there. It's probably going to be a marina. So without further ado, let's just kind of go ahead and get started building. So I'm going to jump into a time lapse now, and I will discuss kind of what's going on in that. Alrighty guys, so here we are in a time-lapse mode. This is about a few hours of building late one night this week. I wanted to try to get this done, and this is only the start of a few different buildings that we are going to be building along this kind of this tourist strip, kind of basically. I also want to get some like different things kind of going on there as far as like some palm trees, and like really make this street kind of pop with a lot of tourist attractions. As I said earlier, I want to do like a Ripley's Believe It or Not. I'm kind of thinking maybe an aquarium, maybe at one of the end of the pier or docks, or not docks because we're not used to doing that. This is more of a, at the end of the strip basically. And then I was kind of thinking originally about doing a like a baseball stadium or something like that on one side, but I honestly think that's probably going to just be too big and just too much work. Building this, what I'm going to be building right here, which I'm not going to just say just yet, I'll talk about that in just a minute. This actually turned out to be much larger in scope and size than what I thought it was going to be, but this is supposed to be one of the biggest building, or not biggest, but one of the larger buildings kind of along the block here. This one, and of course an arcade, and the bigger tourist attractions like the aquarium will probably be one of the biggest ones, I think. And then of course the marina down on the end, and it's all just about really making this whole section kind of come to life. Because like I said, it's not just about the amusement park itself, because the amusement park will be, it's fine. Basically a boardwalk park doesn't have a whole lot of theming. It's mostly just a lot of rides packed into a small space, and we're going to try to make all those rides look really nice and kind of not themed too much, but you know, kind of like Santa Cruz basically, but a little nicer. That's kind of what I'm hoping to get in on that. So what you see me doing right now is I'm actually messing around with a few different new TMTK items. These are some beams and stuff that I downloaded, as well as glass. And what I like about this glass is if you put this glass over top of some of the other glass and stuff, it works really well. This glass in the TMTK sets works much better than what it does with the glass that we got in the game. You can also overlap it and you definitely get more of a glass kind of look. Because one of the things I hate about the glass that Frontier gave us is that it's kind of pointless, because you put it on and no matter what you change the colors to, it just doesn't look like it's there. You know, it's very see-through, and there's really just no point in having it. But this TMTK glass I really like. And one thing I've always said is that when I was able to use, there's a lot of nice stuff that people have created in TMTK, and or Theme Maker's Toolkit, for those who don't know what TMTK is. There's a lot of nice stuff that's actually been created that's on the workshop, and I've been wanting to use it. I really have, and try to mess around with it and play with it. But it's just that the more I downloaded and the more I tried to have in my game, the game just got much laggier when it came to a lot of stuff. And then of course they did say that they fixed it with, you know, the last patch, but that didn't necessarily happen until the most recent patch. So that is one thing that I kind of, you know, has been experimenting with, and I've been kind of messing around with it a little bit in Silverwood, and I've also been messing around with it here in this park as well, as you can see. So what I'm doing is I'm actually making some glass entrance doors. One of the things I never liked out of all the doors and stuff that we got was the doors and stuff just don't seem to be the right size, and I was never able to get something I really liked out of the doors. So when I was creating this, before I actually started filming, I actually was messing around with a lot of different kinds of doors, and I really wanted to use the diner doors, but the diner doors from World's Fair are just way too small. It's just another one of those things in World's Fair that is just like, it seems like it's just left over from the early days of development of Planet Coaster, and Frontier just kind of threw it in. And, you know, like, oh, here's all the leftover stuff, you guys can have it as a pack that you'll pay $12 to us for. So, but they're always, like, there's this really weird sizing thing to them. None of them are the right size. Some of them are too big. Some of them are too small. Some of them is like the exact same doors, but, you know, if they had just put a door handle on both sides of the door, they wouldn't have had to made a left or a right. They could have literally just made one door with a door handle on both sides. That would have been fine and worked, but no, they had to do two different doors to increase the park count size to make it seem like you're actually paying for a lot. So yeah, there's my rant about World's Fair once again, because like I said, I really wanted to use it, but I wasn't able to. So I ended up having to create my own kind of doors and glass entryway and stuff into this. Now, here's another thing. This is actually from, this is part of the diner set in World's Fair that actually I was able to use, and I really liked how that came out. So I just had to kind of get once I got my sizing and stuff right, and I knew kind of how this was going to look and how round it was, and it actually came out, like I said, it ended up being quite a bit larger than what I wanted it to be. This is me kind of messing around with it. It's like, that's just not, that's going to be way too curved. I need it to be, or way not enough curved, I should say. So I needed to be a little more rounder than that. But I wanted to keep it at a preset angle. I didn't want to mess with the angles, because if you do that, it's really hard to get the other side to adjust right and match. So I kept it on preset angles. I do wish that we could actually adjust the angles that we can turn things in, like the rotation angles, to more than just 15. I wish we could actually set that to whatever rotation angle we wanted, and just have a little more accuracy with that. So hopefully that's something maybe we'll get in Planet Coaster 2 with, as you know, Planet Zoo was announced yesterday, and it basically looks a lot like Planet Coaster with some enhancements. So these are enhancements I think that they have been messing around with, and are able to do from the very beginning of development instead of later on when they're always like, we can't do that, such as adjustable tower rides, which they just proved in Classic Rise that they can do. Yeah, so it's just one of those things that you know, I really hope that we can get in Planet Coaster 2. It's just a little bit more fine-tuning of being able to customize and adjust things the way we want instead of having just like 15-degree angles is all we can choose. And it's funny because we can choose a bit more. I think there's what, like 11 point something or 11.25 or something is, I think that's an option when you're building coasters, but unless you turn it on free rotation, then you just can't really fine tune it. And free rotation means you can't get the exact angle that you want on the other side. It just makes it very difficult. So right about this time, you guys are probably wondering, what is this that I'm actually building on my screen? Well, if you haven't actually guessed yet, I was thinking, like I said, this is going to be a tourist trap basically down through here. This is going to be a lot of really nice modern Art Deco kind of classic buildings, and one of this, you know, it's going to be a Mod Podge. Yeah, Mod Podge is a good word for this, of different kinds of buildings. That was me just kind of testing out the neon in the game there. These neon pieces are also from the workshop. These, I wasn't sure about them. They're not perfect, but I think these are going to be much better than using signs, because previously when I needed to do signs, I would actually use or previously when I needed to do neon, I would use like the sides of some of the like signs that we have in the sign section of buildings, and there's a couple of them that are very neon like, and if you turn them on a side and insert them into a wall, it works really good. The only problem with that is that you have to have enough space on the wall to make it work, so like behind the wall basically, and sometimes it's just not possible. So these little strips of neon actually work quite well. I also kind of wanted, right here I was actually trying something that didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. It was making my building just a bit too tall. There's a couple of other things on here that I may change at a later date, such as the little kind of, I don't know what you'd call them, towers? The strips there that the neon is attached to and everything. Those walls, I really wish they were maybe half size. And I did look at using like some of the pieces that you can make doors and stuff off of, and the way that was going to work, just it wasn't going to work. So there is an option I could use. There is a window that you can turn around and use the back side of the window to get the same kind of stucco look. So I may explore that as an option later on, but I was kind of in a hurry when I was building this and really kind of wanted to get this done because I want to try to get another episode of this out to you guys this month. So here I am. I've got all the little like tower pieces there kind of put on. I'm just putting the final touches on, and I'm kind of rounding out the building entrance a little bit. So yeah, I never actually told you what this was, I don't think. So this is going to be a Cineplex, a movie theater. Not sure how many is going to be in it, but I also noticed that I'm probably going to have to bring out the road a bit further off from the actual park itself, because this is actually not going to have enough room to be considered to be lifelike. So I'm going to have to bring out the road further out and then push or pull this building out some more from the coaster so that I can get more room back there to make it look like it's an actual theater. And I've got some other plans on that as well. And one of the things I want to do along this strip, like I said, not just doing like Ripley's or aquariums, but I also want to do hotels and stuff. And I plan on naming a lot of the different like little buildings and stuff, the hotels, things like that, after some of my Patreons, as well as some of my Twitch subs and people who have been supporting me quite a bit here lately on my Twitch and through YouTube and on Patreon. So I want to kind of give back to you guys. So what I'm going to do is some of these buildings will be named after some of my biggest fans. This one I'm actually going to name after my girlfriend. And then I have a hotel that's going to be named after my daughter. So those two are kind of a given. I've already got a couple of things in mind for a few other people. But if you would like to have a building kind of in your name, kind of in your honor for being a supporter, I will let you guys know about that a little later on and how that's going to work. For now, I've already got the people that I know I want to actually put in there. I've already got an idea for. And these are people who have been huge supporters of mine, especially here lately. I want to give them a shout out actually right now. Thrill Rider, Darth Torlin, Joe K5, Dragon Mist has always been a big supporter of mine. I don't see her enough lately, but I think she's back to work. Maite, and of course my beautiful girlfriend. I want to give that shout out to her as well in this series as well. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is I messed around with some things here on top, and for this I figured out this way to make kind of a very Art Deco. One of the pieces that I really like that Frontier gave us is these glossy block pillars, I guess you would call them. There's also wall pieces as well, the same thing, and I've always wanted to use them, but I don't have a whole lot of places where I can use them. But I really think that they fit this theater quite well. So what I did was I took some, there's these pieces in the adventure set that are both regular kind of stone, and also they have these others that are very shiny and have more of a shiny look to them, like you can make gold and stuff out of them. So I gave them a gold topping on top of these gloss black marble tiled wall sets here, and they came out to be a really nice kind of feature for this building. And then of course we want to try to get a little bit of foliage in on this as well, because foliage really makes the building pop, and you can kind of see how things are going to come out here. I tried a few different trees. I wanted to get some palm trees in there, but none of the palm trees I was trying really worked. So instead I'll put some palm trees down like the middle of the road and along the sidewalk and kind of make that work. We're also going to do some lighting and a few other things as well, and really, you know, like I said, just make this building really come on its own. The building itself is actually based off of a AMC theater in Columbus, Ohio that I found online. I looked through a ton of photos for references of different theaters and stuff, and I came across this one, and there was just something about it that I really liked. By the time I'm done with this building, it still doesn't come out quite to what I wanted it to look like, but considering the pieces and stuff that I had to work with and be able to actually get this to kind of look decent, I think I did a pretty good job. I honestly think it did come out quite well, and I really think that once we get more of the area and stuff around it kind of working and built, I think the building itself will really come on its own and really look nice. I also plan on doing an interior on it, at least for the entryway right there with the main lobby. Maybe do some popcorn stuff and some other things in there. But I do want to try to get that done at least, and then from there we will kind of make some hallways that kind of look like they go off to the theater rooms and go from there. That won't be done in this episode though. I honestly don't know if I will actually film doing that, or if I will just build it. Most likely it's something I'll probably just build on my own, and then you guys, I'll just show it off when it's actually done, and then you guys can see it. The next video will most likely be another kind of building along our street here, and then I'll probably get back into the actual park, building along and some of the things in there, because there's a new coaster that I want to build that I've got an idea for, and do some lighting and stuff on that, and as well as building some of the new using some of the new flat rides and stuff that we got in the Classics ride pack that just come out for Planet Coaster. If you guys haven't picked that up yet, I do suggest it. Is actually a really good pack. It's not as good as Magnificent Rides, but it's still a pretty good pack. Definitely some things in there that I could see could maybe be changed, but all in all, I'm happy with it. I got my Paratrooper, so I'm good with that. So what I just got done doing there was, I felt that the overhang there needed a bit more neon on it to really make it kind of, well, I keep using this word, but to really make it pop, it needed a bit more neon. So I used some more of those neon strips there that I got off the TMTK workshop, and I will put those in the link below in the video description so that you guys can go over and get those. And I put those in there to really make it kind of come out a little more and really make it kind of shine and look a little bit more neon-esque. Once I'm done with this is kind of messing around and trying. This is where I was like, all right, so now we need to build a bit more onto it to actually do the theater rooms. My thinking is that it's going to be like, once you enter in, like some of the theater is going to be like on an upper floor, and then kind of like it's dug into the ground a little bit. Not really like a basement type of thing, but a half basement where some of the building is half underground, and then that way it doesn't have to be extremely tall and still have a second floor big enough for another movie room, another movie theater there. That was kind of my thinking, and obviously I'm not going to do this in like actually building it, because we're not actually going to build the actual theater rooms themselves, but I did want to kind of think about how it would be laid out in reality, like what the interior would look like, and how many rooms I could fit in there. And I thought, well, it's probably going to need to be a bit larger than this, and this is where I was like, all right, we're going to have to drag this outward some and make this just slightly larger. So what I just got done doing there is I also put in a tower piece right there in the middle, which will have the name of the theater on it. And then I wanted to use these block pillars here. Like, these are the pillars I was mentioning earlier, these gloss tiled pillars. They're kind of shiny, and I really like the shine on them. And one thing I kind of fooled around with here, I was thinking, what if we changed them different colors and stuff like that? But I wasn't sure what colors to go with. So I've just decided, you know what, let's just do black. Black is fine. It's going to look fine. It's very modern-esque. So that's going to work for me. And then just kind of adjusting there, and then I'm going to just adjust a few more things. As you can see, instead of doing straight edges, I cornered those and kind of angled the sides there a little bit to make it a little bit more room, so that you could see the actual overhang instead of it just coming out flat and all the way up against the road there. So there we have it. This is almost the final product. I'm going to jump over into a actual live view now, and let's take a look at the actual building after I got all the signage and stuff on it and talk about it from there, shall we? Alright guys, so here we are back in a live view of the park. The time lapse is now done, and I did continue to work a little bit on the building after that and get a few more things done. So here we are, just kind of inside the actual park itself, but we're going to step outside of the entrance here. I really can't say how much I actually love this little entrance that I built here. The more I see it, the more I love it, especially this right here. I love this. This looks so classic right here, very, very Boardwalk, and I love it. Obviously I'm going to build some more things in between here, between the as you come in, but that's to come on a little bit later. I may get that done before the next episode. So as we turn around here, this is going to be the main street. Obviously, like I said at the time lapse, we are going to be moving the street outward a little bit so we can get some more room with the theater here. But coming on down through here, as you can see, I've done a little bit of work with some gardening. Not sure how much of that's going to stay or not. And you can see in through the lobby, and the lobby you can see like through the backside of it. That will also be fixed later on as well. But I want to introduce you guys to the Lex Cineplex 12 theaters. 12 screens showing the latest movies, the biggest blockbusters that are out right now. So lots of people would come down here. This would be a place that they can come to to see a new movie, and it's part of the entertainment that the Boardwalk offers down through here. And this we'll call it an entertainment complex, so to speak, even though it's not just one big huge building. It's actually a lot of buildings on a block, but it's part of this entire area that has been kind of redone and made into a tourist kind of street, things where people would come, but also something useful for people who actually live nearby as well. So all the modern conveniences of all the biggest theaters and everything like that is the Lex Cineplex 12 theaters. I gotta say, I love how this came out. It needs a bit more work, obviously. I gotta do the lobby. I gotta do a few more things on the outside of it and just kind of change some more stuff on the street. But I really think that once we get everything kind of done on this is gonna look really, really, really good. And I even went, I don't know if it showed it in the time lapse or not, but I also put lights. So one of the things I noticed is underneath the bottom of these diner sets is these places for like lights, but there's no actual lights in them. So I went ahead and put the little round globe lights in there and kind of pushed them up in there to give that a little bit of a glow at night, and it really worked out quite well. It's more angled going around through here than what I would prefer, but you know, I could probably make it a little more curved, but I had to work within, you know, the pieces and stuff that I had to work with. So let me know what you guys think of this in the comments below. Again, this is probably not going to be getting a whole lot of views because it is only for my Twitch subs and for my Patreons. So hopefully the series will pick up and I'll get more Patreons and more Twitch subs, and you guys will actually want to see this. But I really like this. Oh, you know what? I can't leave you guys on this episode without showing you what this looks like at night, can I? No. You've got to see this at night. So let's go ahead and switch this over to about 2 a.m. in the morning. And then we'll take off the UI so you guys can really see this. This looks really good at night. And again, once I get more of the building and more of the street and everything done on this is going to look really good. I love how this came out, and I hope you guys too. I hope you guys love it too, I guess I should say. It is one of the coolest buildings I've ever actually done, and very much in an Art Deco style that I feel, but modern Art Deco, and I really like it. I might put some more neon kind of down underneath of the building, maybe down in this part, or I may not. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'll have to decide on that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Anything that you would change on it? Anything that you would like to see? And obviously I will get back to you guys and talk more about how you can get a building built around yourself. Something, you know, with your name on it, and I will let you guys know that in the future. Probably next episode, once I get the details worked out. And yeah. So that's going to be it for this episode. I will be back again a little later on, maybe in another week or so, before the end of the month. And we will do a whole nother video with another building. I may do one of the hotels or something on the other side of the street, possibly. But yeah, I want to build all of this out, and then we will also get back into the park and build some more stuff inside the park as well. So that's going to do it for me here at Phoenix Beach. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know you like some of the time-lapse stuff, and I wanted to get some of that in there, but I also wanted to kind of show off what we have done as well. So until next time, guys, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Thanks for being a super fan. See you later. What's up, everybody? Thank you for watching the video. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button down below and click on the bell to stay on top of all my new videos and live streaming events here on YouTube. I also want to give a huge shout out to all the names you see on the right for their support through donations, Patreon, and through Twitch subs. If you would like to join their ranks and you are able, you can do so by clicking on any of those links in the video description down below. No worries though, if you don't like giving away money like that, you can still support the channel by purchasing games or anything through Greenman Gaming, through Humble Bundle, or through Amazon by clicking on my links and making your purchase. A little bit of that goes towards me to support the channel. If you still can't get enough of me, you can always check me out live on twitch.tv and stay up to date with me on Twitter as well. Now that's going to be it, but I can't say thank you enough for all your support here on the channel. Wherever you guys are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. See you later.